Namaste everyone, this is Avanti, and this is a College 101 video. 101 things you should know before you start college. This video will be a little bit more helpful for those people who are studying in the US or the UK, but even if you're going to college in, say, India or any other country, most of this information will be useful or you can apply it to your specific context. So let's get right to it. Number 1, academics. Academics in school and academics in college are two very different things, regardless of the system you're coming in with. The focus in college is more oriented toward your major and or minor, and so you'll be going more in depth into a subject, whereas in school you were more going in breadth and doing multiple subjects. There's a lot of emphasis on reading and analytical writing, two things that not all school systems focus on. Number 2 is your classes. Because you will be focusing on a field, a major, classes will be more in-depth the more that you progress. Especially if you're going to a liberal arts program where you are able to take multiple classes, or even if your program offers electives. Before going into college, take a look at what exists and what the options are so you can kind of in your mind plan out what you might want your next few years to look like. You certainly don't have to know every single class you want to take, but you should know what the offerings are, because otherwise there's a huge tendency to go in and just take all the classes everybody's taking or what's most popular. Just because something's popular doesn't necessarily mean it's right for you. The third thing is advisors and the role of advisors. In some colleges, you are assigned an official advisor, but regardless of whether you have an official advisor or not, I think it's really important to seek out mentorship and to seek out people who have been in the system. Number 4 is professors. When you're in school, you are quite literally a child. So the relationship between your teacher and you is going to be more child-oriented. But when you're in college, sometimes professors or teaching assistants are closer to you in age, or because you are now an adult, you can have a slightly different relationship with them. And it's important, in my opinion, to get to know your professors outside just the classroom and outside just the teacher teaching you, because they are usually amazing network resources. Through them, you can sometimes get jobs or internships or interviews, or they can become mentors or advisors. Number 5 is geography. If you are geographically not so great like me, then it'll take you a while to get to know your campus, especially if you're living on a campus. The more you feel like you know the place, the more it'll start to feel like home. So walk around, don't rely on just your classes, because the more you know, the more fun you will have exploring. Number 6, friends. College is about finding yourself, preparing for the real world, studying, of course, but a huge part of it is the friends you make and the peers around you. And it's an amazing opportunity to make friends who are very different from you, because regardless of where you go to college, there's people coming either from different parts of the cities, countries, socioeconomic backgrounds, races. So there's a lot of diversity there, and please take advantage of it. It can also be scary navigating the application process, and if you're going to another country for the first time, not knowing anybody. There's a resource for group chats of people who are applying to similar colleges as you, countries as you, or might have already gotten in through a service called Yocket. Yocket is awesome. They have a lot of different options. You can just go check them out. All details are in the description box below, but they have this really cool group chat feature where you can talk about any questions you have related to admissions or student life or whatever, and they'll connect you with their database of applicants or students across the world. So definitely check them out. Roommates. Roommates are, many turn into friends, but they don't necessarily have to. Your roommate does not have to be your best friend. Ideally, they should be somebody who's a good living partner. So if you have a choice in your roommate, talk to somebody and figure out, are your bedtimes similar? Do you have, similar cleanliness preferences? Do you like to party or, prefer a quiet room? Like, those things matter a lot. Let's talk about books. You will have to buy books in college, whether they're ebooks or, regular books, textbooks. Don't buy them before your classes start, because a lot of universities have actually ways that you can get free access to the books I probably bought like 1 or 2 textbooks, but that's it. Get to know your library system if you have one. Free stuff. You will get a lot of free stuff during your college time. I don't remember ever buying night clothes because I'd get so many t-shirts from random things or pens, but just be careful that you're not hoarding a ton of stuff. Along with free stuff, there will also be free food, and that's awesome, but it can get dangerous. So the next point is, let's talk about food. Some colleges have included meal plans. Sometimes you have to pay for different tiers, how many meals you want. There's canteens or messes, is what they're called in some parts of the world. Some don't have it. Sometimes your dorm will have a kitchen, it will not. Just get to know what your food availability options are. You don't have your parents around or anybody telling you to eat or not to eat. So it's very easy for you to forget to eat. So you have to really be in control of your food choices and being able to know what is available to you. You have to understand what you might be spending on and what is feasible for you. Know what you have to spend money on, your expenses, your general expenses. And I would even recommend getting a part-time job to cover some of those expenses. Beyond just expenses, especially if you're going to college in a country that's different from your own or a city that's new to you, know the basic situations like where is the closest bank account and are you eligible for a debit card, credit card, etc. Look at that and also take advantage of the student discounts that you get. There's a lot of colleges that provide student discounts for local restaurants and cafes, for streaming plans, for technology. In addition to expenses, sometimes it's hard to support your education fully, especially if you're studying in a place that's expensive. You might have received financial aid, but sometimes that doesn't cover everything. Loans are an option, and Yocket, the same service I mentioned before, does provide incredible educational loans. They provide you to a lot of providers, whether they're banks or education-focused specific things within India. But they also connect you to student-friendly, easy payback loans. They'll allow you to compare rates and get sanctions, and definitely check them out. If you're interested in using any of their premium services like counseling or whatever, you can use the code Avanti30 and you will get access to a huge discount. So yeah, check them out. College is a place where you can find yourself and explore new things. But if you have passions that you've enjoyed doing throughout your high school or life, use college as a time to nurture those as well, whether or not you do them professionally. There will be student groups and clubs, which are amazing ways for you to explore your passions, but you can also do it outside of the context of college. You don't have to just live in the bubble. So see what's available in the city around you. Know what's available, know what your options are, and not everything in college is about maximizing for getting a job or, going to grad school. It's really about leaning into stuff that you love. Time management. You and you alone are responsible for managing your time, and it's really easy to procrastinate or not do your assignments on time, because even if you have exams around exam time, you might be fine, but there's all these regular assignments you have to keep up with. Transportation. If you are in a college that's in a city, it's useful to know what public transport options are available to you. I went to college in Boston, or specifically in Cambridge, and I was always between Harvard and the Berklee College of Music doing my dual degree. Understand what transport options are available to you. Sometimes your college will have free shuttles or services to help you transport from one part of campus at least to the other. So know what your transport options are. And if you know that you're somebody who might want to go into the city more often or whatever it is, budget for transportation costs and understand your options. Exercise. Like your food habits and your general budget, there's nobody reminding you to exercise. And depending on your campus, if it's very walkable, you might get in basic steps, but very easy to become a couch potato in college. It's definitely, you have to prioritize it and make it a priority. So check that out. Know what resources are at your disposal. Most colleges will have, a website or a handbook or something that'll tell you the general resources. You should do your research even beyond that. For example, if your college campus also has graduate schools or other programs that you may not be directly related to, but you want to, say, attend events or talks or understand what is available to you in terms of resources or mentorship, a career service, a career office, find out placements, find out what all exists. So again, you go in kind of eyes wide open. Like your general resources, you should also know emergency numbers and basic resources on campus. And that also translates to your mental health. Mental health, all forms of health are really important to take care of, but sometimes, living far away from home or just being in a new environment, it can take a toll on your mental health. So find out what options are available. Does your college have access to resources that might be free or subsidized? Or are there therapists in your area? Are there hotlines, listening spaces? I'll put in a few links in the description box as well of some easily accessible mental health resources, but really take the time and invest in that as well. Now that we've covered the bigger general area topics, there's also a lot of stuff you have to bring with you to college, especially if you're living on campus or even in an apartment. I'm going to give you a more exhaustive general list. You don't have to have everything on this, and not everybody's financial means allows for all of this. Some colleges do provide budgets or stipends to students on financial aid to help purchase stuff like this, so look into that if your college does. Let's start with general room vibe things. A comforter or blanket, sheets for your mattress for your bed, a mattress topper, pillows and pillowcases, towels, all types, chappals or slippers or flip-flops. These are for in your room or if you have a shared bathroom. Similarly, a shower caddy, which is just a box or something that can hold your toiletries and products. Your shampoo, soap, lotion, cream, then your toothbrush and your toothpaste and your floss and mouthwash, anything you need in the dental category, nail clippers and maybe a little nail kit set, Q-tips, for cleaning, cotton buds and cotton pads, any shaving tools, hair removal tools if you use that, shaving, waxing, whatever it might be, hygiene products, whether they are, related to menstruation or general hygiene products, make sure you pack and carry them, your hairbrush, your comb, anything hair related, and any accessories, watches, belts, earrings, jewelry, whatever that might be. Your electronics, laptop and charger. I took 2 chargers with me, one that would live in my backpack and one that would live in my room. Similarly with phone and charger, I had 2 chargers. An extension cord, a lamp, portable charger, where if you're on the go, you can charge with that, a fan, depending on where you are, and then a printer, which is optional. I didn't get a printer. We had a lot of printing options on campus. Storage. Usually if you're living on campus or even if you're living in an apartment, if you're in a city, you don't really have a lot of space. So storage tools become really essential. Get a few storage bins, just boxes, dabbas, which you can store a bunch of stuff in. Get an organizer, a shoe rack, so that your shoes are just not all over the place. Then have a laundry bag or a laundry hamper. If you are planning to have a couch or some seating thing, it's good to double it up as storage. You can get a drawer organizer, like a pencil holder, all of these things that you might need for your general supplies or your closet. Hangers, cleaning supplies, Clorox or similar equivalent wipes to wipe down stuff that's dirty, laundry detergent, dish soap and the sponge, toilet bowl cleaner, hand soap, and then this is optional of course, but I made sure that I took a stain treater with me because I just got a lot of stains on my clothes in college, so having that really helped. Eating supplies. Even if you have a dining hall or a mess or whatever, sometimes you get hungry in your room and it's just not sustainable to order out all the time. So fridge, microwave, kettle if allowed, silverware, forks, spoons, knives, a couple plates and bowls, some mugs, Ziploc bags or equivalent so you can pack things, water bottle, paper towels, toilet paper, basic things like that. Tupperware, or what you might know as a dabba. I keep a few snacks in your room. I used to keep a lot of nuts and dry fruits, but whatever works for you, have a few things. Otherwise, you will be tempted to go buy stuff that's not that great for you. Decor items. You want to kind of put a little bit of a personal touch to your room because it'll help it feel like home and that it's a part of you. One is a mirror, some posters or photos or memories from home. Depending on the climate you're in, a rug, is useful. It got really cold where I was, so having a rug felt really nice just during the winter. Just things that might have sentimental value or that are decorative. There's lists and lists of that on the internet. But these are just 4 general items, I would say, for decor. School supplies, binders, files, notebooks, pens and pencils. You might need a highlighter, tape, scissors, stapler, sticky notes or some small note-taking thing, and a calculator. Again, depends on your major, but generally it's useful to have a calculator. Some miscellaneous things, command hooks or command strips. Those are things that you can use to hang up stuff on your wall. Or if that's not allowed, then blue tack or sticky gum or something to make the space your own. Tissues, umbrella, hard drive, external storage, all of your identity cards, so your passport, your license, your social security if you're in the US, or Aadhaar or whatever. Having those things on you is important. A wallet, backpack, earphones or headphones, medicines, first aid kit. Just take a whole medicine kit, trust me. A trash can, delicates bag. I found that a lot of laundry machines in college are very harsh. So I had this special delicates bag that I would put all my undergarments in because it's not sustainable to keep washing them by hand. So I'd put that in and then I'd be fine. Bug spray or Odomos or something equivalent. Safety pins, rubber bands, maybe a glue stick, pouch to hold your stuff on the go. Paper clips, envelopes. And then when it comes to clothing, it really depends on the climate you're in. But if you're going to a cold place, make sure that you have a nice jacket, like a good, solid, warm jacket. You should be fine. If you're in more of a hotter place, are you taking shorts if you're allowed to? Just generally all the things that you might need. Exercise clothes, night clothes, undergarments. Take a lot of undergarments. Don't take just a week's worth. Buy more underwear. Trust me on this. And yeah, that should be a mostly comprehensive list. I'm also gonna include that list below because I know it's hard to follow along everything in the video. But yeah, check out all the stuff I mentioned, the resources of the Yocket, the mental health resources. If you're going to college this year, best of luck. It is an awesome time and I wish you the absolute best. I know it's not been easy for people being in school and college this past couple years because of COVID and everything, but sending you so much love. If you have watched till this point, please comment below the item that you feel is most useful to you or that you forgot about. And I will know if you've watched till this point. So comment below your favorite item or something that you think is cool or useful. And if you want more educational videos, I know I used to do a bunch earlier. I've slowed them down a little bit because we're diversifying content, but if there's any specific educational types of videos you want, please let me know below. I can bring in folks from different parts as well and different countries. So let me know everything. And yeah, thank you as always for watching. Sending you all so much love. Bye.
And you put me first all the time, but I'm jealous of all the people who loved you before me. I'm jealous of all the lips that got to kiss you softly. You say they all legitimate, made you so you were made for me. I'm jealous of all the people who loved you before